If the
One more thing, everyone should use their laptop for the session because you have to do many tasks in the session, like creating a repo, forking it, creating a pull request, etc. So everyone join with your laptops. Or if you are using your phone for the session, then open the laptop and do the practical side by side. 2 more minutes. We shall wait. We won't waste more time. Let's start. So today's session is about getting started with GitHub. I am Sushri Satarupa. I am here to lead the session and help you guys learn something new today. I'm a CSE pre-final year student at NIT Rourkela. I'm the founder of C Coders and one of the Microsoft Learn student ambassadors. So what you will learn today? You will learn basics of GitHub, GitHub workflow, GitHub desktop, and at the end I shall tell you about a surprise gift, and that is GitHub Developers Pack. How will you build it? So you have to make an account on GitHub. For the repo that I will create, add a text file naming it with your roll number and add some details about yourself inside the file. Then make a pull request to me, and the workshop organizer will approve and merge pull request. Refresh the main repository to see people's file being added. So this is what we are going to do now. Now that you understand how it works, let's get started. So the topics we are going to cover is introduction to Git and GitHub and GitHub collaboration workflow. We are all going to collaborate on a project together. How? It's version control. So before version control, we need to know what is Git and what is GitHub. Git is a version control system. It can be used with various tools or locally on your computer to help you keep tracks of changes in your code project. It is just a Google Docs for code, but a better version. Because you in Google Docs also you have to save a file multiple times if you want multiple versions of the docs. But in this case, you do not have to save it because it is already saved every time you commit. And GitHub is a platform for code collaboration. GitHub uses Git for version control and provides you all sort of awesome collaboration tools. So what is version control? Like for example, you are preparing a timetable for yourself, but your friend who has taken a minor course will prepare the same timetable, but in addition to that, he or she will add a extra subject to her or his timetable. So you have to prepare two versions of the timetable. But if you are using a version control, you can do so. You can use the same file and use different versions of the same file. Like you have prepared the timetable and then he or she added his version or her version to your version, then uses the different file. But both of the files are saved in the with the same name, and you do not need to use it like timetable.1 or timetable.2 like that. And another point is collaborators can work in parallel and merge their changes automatically instead of manually comparing the difference between a file. Let's take an example that one of you is adding a line and another of you is deleting a line. So if you are not using a version control, you have to manually compare it, who is doing what. But if you are using a version control, it will display you with the added lines as green color and the deleted lines as red color. So we will start with GitHub. This is how your profile should look like. Here in this folder of repositories, all your repos will be there. So let's talk about repository. A repository is the most basic element of GitHub. They are the easiest to imagine as a project folder. A repository contains all of the project files, including documentations, and store each file's revision history. Repository can have multiple collaborators and can be either public or private. So I shall create a repository now and name it as Getting Started with GitHub. So I have created a repository and I will assign it as public so that you all can access. So what is public and private repository? A public repository can be viewed by anyone, including people who are not GitHub users. And the private repository are only visible to the repository owner and collaborator that the owner specified. And we shall add a README file. So what is a README? A README is a text file containing information about the files in a repository. That is typically the first file a visitor to your repository will see. If I am creating a repository, I will call myself a repository maintainer. So let's talk about who is a repository maintainer. Someone who manages a repository. This person may also be responsible for keeping the README and contributing files updated. Like the repository maintainer is the person who will accept your pull request and merge it into the main branch of the repository. So, and we shall choose a license. A license is a document that you can include with your project to let people know what they can and can do with your source code. And I created the repository. So you guys have to add for the repository and create your files. I will share the link, copy. You guys open the link and try to fork it. We shall discuss about the fork process now. Anyone of you who knows how to fork can share the screen. Anyone? Yeah. Hi, Sainsri. Thank you for sharing your screen. So now, Sainsri, tell how to fork a repository.
Okay, so for forking, you will find a icon to fork right on the top right corner. So you click on that, then you choose where you want to fork. It will show only your username, and now you'll have a copy of that repo on your own uh, own account. So if I move to my own account and move to my repositories, I can find the repos that I just forked on the top. You can see it will be written forked from where it is forked from.
Uh, Click on the repository and show them that in front of the repository there is your name and not mine. So when we fork a repository, we have a version of the repository for ourselves. So in the repository there is not my name anymore and it's a repository under Sandstorm. So you guys have to do the same and fork the repository that I shared the link with you in the chat section. You can mute yourself. So fork.
You're muted, ma'am.
Sorry. Sansri, you can stop sharing your screen.
Ma'am, how can we access the link in the session? Because we are not added in the Teams, so we can't see the chat section.
You are not able to see the chat section.
No, ma'am.
Yes.
Like the conversation section. Oh, sorry. In the group I have shared. Can you now access that? Let me update. In the MLH also I have updated. You will get a notification about that. You all got the link?
Yes, we got the link.
Yeah. I will share the screen. Nice. Many of you have got the repository. The list is increasing. You can all see who has forked the repository because it shows the forks inside the insight folder. I guess some of you are struggling with the forking thing. If anyone has any doubt, you can ask me about this.
I see some code there.
Yeah, since many of you have forked the repository, we shall now talk about the commit part. So you have to go to the code section and add a file. All of you name the file with your roll number of your institute. And then write something about you.
Will I name the file?
Yeah, name the file with your roll number of respective institute. This is your institute ID. After you write some details, then always add a commit message like added a file about myself. Always write that. This is a good practice. And then commit the new file. If you have committed a file, then you can respond yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sansri, share.
Can you show your screen again?
Yeah. Which part you want to see?
What should I write? Like I wrote about me, and what else do I need to write?
You can write anything. This is for a sample purpose. So write 1-2 lines about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, many of you have done it successfully. Abhas, Avi, Alif, Nora, Anirudh, Ansu, Teja, Upon, Upor, and sorry for misspelling, and many more. Yeah. I'm stopping sharing the screen. Sansi, can you start sharing the screen so that I can show them from your side?
Okay, 1 second. I'm sharing the screen. Okay, so you can see I have added my file name and I have written some description.
Now
And
let them know how to create a pull request.
so now what we will do is we'll create a pull request. So here on the top part, you will see your branch is some commits add of main. Then what you need to do is, what we're trying to do is, you have done some changes on your repo, and we will make the same changes on the main repo from which you have forked from. So we'll have to create a pull request for that. So you can click on contribute, then open pull request. Then simply click on create a pull request and give it some title. For example, I will give added my and you can leave some comment also if you like. And after you are done with that, you can simply click on create pull request.
So
So
if guys are wondering what is a pull request is a proposed changes to a repository submitted by a user and accepted or rejected by a repository collaborator. That means you are sending me a request to accept your file or your changes, and I have the authority to either accept your change or reject that. So I think you guys now know about how to create a pull request. Yeah. Sensi, you can stop sharing the screen.
okay.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, you are busy.
Yeah, thanks. So as I reload it and go to pull request, so 8 of you have created a pull request. Now I will merge the pull request. What is merging? So merging takes the changes from one branch in the same repository or from a fork and applies them to another. This often happens as a pull request, which can be thought of as a request to merge. So I am merging the request, confirm merge. So Abhi's X12, you can see a notification that your request has been merged. Let's merge other request also.
Yes, I did.
Merge. Till the time I am merging others request, everyone try to create a pull request because I can see that only 12 of 16 of them have created a pull request. I'm waiting for you guys to create your pull request. This is the first step to open source.
Ma'am, can you show it again how to request?
Okay. Sansri, once again you share your screen because you are the other hand side. I can show them how to create a pull request.
Ma'am, how will we know that our pull requested are accepted?
You will see that in your pull request section, it is showing no, merged instead of open. It will show a purple color merged. Yeah, Sensi, so once again, how to create a pull request. Yeah, like this.
Okay.
Merge option.
So someone asked that where to see if what is the status of their pull request. You go to simply go to pull request tab, and you will see if there are any pending pull request or not. So since my request was merged, it is empty now, so it is not showing up. And for creating a pull request, you will have to go to this contribute part. You will after clicking on contribute, you will do open pull request. Currently I haven't made any changes, so it is not the option is not available. So if I make some changes again,
Yes, do some changes and show it once again.
so you can see I have made some changes. Now I can open a pull request. So I go to open pull request on the contribute from contribute. Then you have to go to create pull request. After that, you will have to assign some message. For it has already done some given some default message, and you can also write some comments if you want to brief what you are doing, and then you click on create pull request, and it will automatically create pull request. So when your pull requests are pending, it will show on this tab, and once that are merged, it will show here closed.
Any of you have any doubts regarding pull request? You can ask. I have closed about 18 pull requests. Those 18 students can see that their pull requests are closed.
For example, this first one I did just now, attempt second pull request, it was just merged. You can see it here.
Stop sharing the screen so that I can share.
Okay.
So you can see that I have closed 23 pull requests, and now we can go to the code section and see that all of your files have been added in my repository. You can see all your roll numbers here. But in your case, you may not see all the files. This is because my repository is going ahead of your repository by some commits. So what you have to do, you have to, Sensi, can you show them how to, Sensi?
Yes. So my screen should be visible by now.
Yeah.
Because all of you pushed on that repo, so that main repo is ahead of time of your repo. So if I reload this page, you can exactly see that the main branch is 47 commits ahead, or this my branch is 47 commits behind the main branch. So it will show here. So what I want to do is I want to pull the changes that is in the main branch to my copy of the repo. So for that, we will go to fetch upstream. So you can see
this
fetch.
is known as pull. Pull refers to when you are fetching in changes or merging them. For instance, if someone has edited the remote file, means my file, you are both working on, you want to pull in those changes to your local copy so that it is up to date. See also fetch. Yeah. Show them how
Okay,
to
so
fetch.
So there are two options: compare and fetch. Compare is only for comparing what changes have occurred. So you go to that green button, fetch and merge. So you can see successfully fetched and fast forwarded to Susri Sasarupa mail. So now you can see
all
if
the files you have added in the repository of Sensry. So everyone try to do the same and fetch the upstreams. That means pull it.
So you can see this is my repo, my copy of that, which I forked, and now it is showing the branch is even with the main branch. So if you do this properly, it will show this. And you can also see all the files that you have pushed.
Anyone has any doubt about pull request, merge, or pull?
Can you show the last part again? We go to code and then what do we do? And how do we fetch it?
Yeah. Since you have to share the screen
Because I cannot find the options.
Do one thing. Refresh the page or reload the page so that you can see how many means my repo is how much ahead of your repo. You can see that after reloading the page.
Okay, so currently the branch is even, so we cannot fetch, but first thing you should do is refresh your page, because to reload everything, and then if your branch is behind the main branch, what you can do is you can always go to fetch upstream. It is right here below the code. Then you will go to fetch and merge. It will automatically fetch the changes in the main repo to your forked repo. So only two steps: fetch upstream, fetch and merge.
If there is no doubt regarding to this, then we can move ahead. Is there any doubt? I think no one has any doubt. So I'm sharing the screen. Another thing, you can download the code by downloading it with zip, or you can download with GitHub Desktop. Many of you do not have GitHub Desktop, so we shall discuss it after discussing about GitHub. Or you can clone it. So what does it means that you will have a copy of the same repository on your computer, on your laptop, that you can work on when you are offline. You do not need to be online to work on it. Then we shall move ahead and talk about GitHub pages. So you may be knowing that you can launch your own website free of cost using GitHub. I can show you a sample by adding a README to it. I'm adding a README file, and here I will write something about today's session, like getting started with GitHub and open source. Getting started with GitHub and open source, and I shall commit the new file. Then I shall move to settings. In the settings, there will be something like GitHub pages, and you have to check it out there. Select the main branch and save it. Now you can see that our website has been published, and but we have not written index file till now. Like we have not written any HTML code or what. So what is, it's about README. README is a text file containing information about the files in a repository. That is typically the first file a visitor to your repository will see. But README has something special in it. You can create a website using the same README. My site is published, and I will click on the site, and you can see that the things I had written in my MD file is showing here. I'm making a duplicate, and I will go there and change the README a little bit so that you can see the changes in real time. And all the students have committed changes, and now I will refresh the page. It may take more time because it takes 30 to 40 seconds to reload the page. Yeah, you can see it has been updated in real time, and all the students are doing forking and creating pull requests. So this is how you can launch your own website by using the README and GitHub pages. Now, one more thing you need to know about this is issue. That is here. Issues are suggested improvements, tasks, or questions related to the repository. Issues can be created by anyone for public repositories and are moderated by repositories collaborators. You can also categorize an issue with labels and assign it to someone. Imagine that we are writing some codes on C++, and one of you, while you see that the code is little bit wrong, or there may be some improvement, like the code is written in time complexity of n square, and you know a solution that can solve the problem in a linear way, like O to On. So what you have to do, that you have to create an issue and write here that in this problem we can use On rather than On square, and create the issue. There are many labels, like you find a bug or documentation or duplicate, but in this particular example, you are using, wait a minute, improvements. You are using improvements or enhancement or like that, because you are trying to improve the code. So anytime you find any errors, you can use bug, or you want to enhance some code, you can use enhancement, or it is your first issue, then you go first issue. So it was all about issue. You guys have any doubt regarding to this, or we shall move forward?
Can you explain again? Like, I didn't hear properly.
What you want to know more about? Issues. Can you tell me the point where you didn't understand?
Repeat again.
If you found some bugs or you found a better solution, you can always use issues. Wait a minute, let me show you. You can create a new issue, like improve the readme file. Our readme is too short, so I will create an issue to improve the readme file. And submit the issue. So in the issue section, you can see that I have submitted an issue that we need to improve the readme file. And any one of you can create same issues if you find any issue in the code. This is how it is done. Since I am the repository owner, I can solve my own issue, but you cannot because you are not the owner. So like I can say that, yeah, I will. And I can close it with a comment. This is how issues is created. Now on refreshing, you can see that I close it now, closed. So did you understand the issue one, or I shall repeat once again? There are 5 more pull requests. I shall close them. We shall move to a new topic known as GitHub Desktop. Before that, if anyone has any doubt, you please ask me about GitHub website. This branch has conflict.
I'm not able to like create a new issue because the issue tab is not showing in my GitHub. So how can I do
Are
that?
you creating an issue in this repository, or are you creating in your version of this repository?
In my version, like in the
In
fourth version.
your version, like that's the version used by you, and that is just try to create an issue in. Can you please share the screen so that all of us can see what problem you are facing?
Okay. Is my screen visible?
It's showing a blank page. Let's wait for a minute to see if it's refreshing. Yeah.
I can see the screen.
Yeah, visible.
Yes. So like in my forked repo, the issue tab is not showing. So I need to go to the main repo.
Yeah, go to the main.
Okay. So like here, from here I can create.
Okay. I think issues can be only generated when there is more than one contributor in a repository. Do anyone else know about how like this issue problem? Like contributors are needed, or you can create issue on your own repository. We can Google this out. Like, can
I yeah.
create issue without any contributors? Contributors in my repository. Has
Basically,
anyone?
mostly.
Ma'am, here the issues cannot be created because that's a forked repository,
Yes,
not
yes.
the original repository. You can create issues only in the original repository.
Okay, so everyone heard that, like Srujan said, you can create create issues only in the original repository and not in the forked repository. So is the doubt clear, Sanjit?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thanks. And good job, Srujan. So everyone doubts are clear about GitHub website. Shall we move forward to
Yes.
GitHub? Thanks. I'm sharing the screen. So this is GitHub desktop. You can write desktop.github.com in your browser and click on it. So you can use GitHub desktop to create and manage a Git repository without using the command line or without using the website. So we will introduce it. GitHub desktop is an application that enables you to interact with GitHub using a GUI instead of the command line or a web browser. GitHub desktop encourages you and your team to collaborate with best practices using Git and GitHub. You can push to, pull from, and clone remote repository from GitHub desktop and use collaborative tools such as attributing commits and creating pull requests. GitHub desktop is an open source project, but before using GitHub desktop, you have to download it on your laptop. You can install GitHub desktop on any supported operating system. It works fine on both Windows and Mac. So you have to install it by downloading it. Since I already have the file, I would cancel it, but you guys download this if you do not have. After you install the app, you need to sign in and authenticate your account on GitHub. Authenticating allows you to connect to remote repositories on GitHub. Like you can use your created repositories of your website, GitHub website on your desktop also. If you have the GitHub desktop and if you authenticate with your GitHub account. It would take more time for you guys, so I shall proceed with how to use it. You can try it out after you get the app installed. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. So this is how my screen looks like. This is GitHub desktop application, and here you can open it in any code editor. Like I have used Visual Studio Code here, you can also include other editors. And if you want to see your files of repository in Explorer, you can also see in Explorer. If you want to view it in view your repository on GitHub, you can also view it on GitHub. So you have to in GitHub Desktop there is an option of creating a tutorial. Wait a minute. There is an option of creating a tutorial repository and clone it. You can create a tutorial repository, or you if you do not want to create a tutorial repository, you can create a repository of your own. You can click on creating the new repository file, new repository. Here you will get an option of creating new repository, and you can create a repository. Like I want to create a repository of GitHub, and you have to describe like what you want to what you know about the repository. Like session repository, and then you can choose a local path. In this case, you can get a pre-allocated local path, but you can also change the local path by choosing another path. Then you can choose any license and create the repository. So this is how you can create the repository using the GitHub Desktop app. So here the names defines the name of the repository both locally and also on GitHub. The description is an optional field that you can choose to provide more information about the purpose to your repository. Local path sets the location of a repository on your computer. By default, GitHub Desktop creates a GitHub folder inside your documents folder to store your repository, but you can choose any location on your computer. And then you can click here to create the repository. So this is how GitHub Desktop can be used. You can use it to make your life more simple. Now the interesting part of the session comes when we shall discuss about some swags. And it is GitHub Student Developer Pack. So as it states, learn to see for software like a pro. There is no substitute for hands-on experience, but most of the students, real-world tools can be cost prohibitive. That's why we created GitHub Students Developer Pack with some of our partners and friends to give students free access to best developer tools in one place so that they can learn by doing. Here you can get all the free versions of the software that cost in dollars. Like you can use the Canva Pro by using GitHub Education. Just you have to do that, you have to go to the student corner, get your student developer pack. Since I already have it, it is not showing me option to get it. New incognito, GitHub student developer pack. This will go to GitHub student developer pack. And here is the option to get your pack. You have to use your college ID to get the pack, college roll number, and the Jimra ID that you have. So it's taking much time to load. Yeah. So you can choose get student benefits, and then it will give to tell you to sign up with GitHub. You have to sign up with your username and password. And after doing that, you will get a form you have to fill, that you will face like your organization, your school name, your roll number, etc. And then it will take 1 week to 3 weeks to activate your account. Then you can use all the pro softwares which are available. That there are also many courses like 6 months of educative, in which you can learn development, Python, Java, machine learning free. You can get GitHub Pro, you can get Bootstrap, Front-End Masters. Like you can get 6 month access to all the courses, which can cost you $100. You can also use the Heroku student version, in which you get free access by connecting your GitHub account. You can also get HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Python course for one month. And there are many things, including that there are also uh, some companies which are providing free domain names. Like you can create a website and you can add the domain name like your name. For example, I can create a domain name of my name. Let me show you that I have used it. So I have taken a domain name here, and it may charge more. It may charge in dollars if you buy a domain name, but using GitHub Developer Pack, you can use it free of cost. Anyone has any doubt about GitHub Desktop, or GitHub Developer Pack? You can ask. Anyone has any doubt, or we shall move forward with the second session of open source. So 31 of you have successfully learned about pull requests, GitHub, and all. If you do not have any doubt, we shall move forward with the second session, that is on open source and how to start your open source journey. So shall we proceed? Respond, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we can proceed.
Yeah. Hello, Prachi here.
Yes, ma'am. Where I'm supposed to send the link, shall I share it in WhatsApp? Because
Do one thing, share the link in WhatsApp and also share it with me so that I can add it in the MLH localhost one, so that everyone can get the mail.
okay, fine.
Ma'am, how can we get the recording of this session?
Wait a minute. I will upload my YouTube channel and will send the link to you.